Your vision continues to inspire us and lead us towards the path of excellence. And thank you for highlighting the importance of parents, teachers, and एक बहुत ही खूबसूरत बायोपिक जो बनाई गई जिसने हम सभी को प्रेरणा दी. Coming to the point, ladies and gentlemen, how many of you have watched Shrikanth? Almost all of us, 90% of the room. That is fantastic. I'm sure even if you have not, after going home today, you will. Because the man who is joining us here today is absolutely, truly inspirational. He's an epitome of excellence, hard work, perseverance, and the one with the never to give up attitude. Legend himself who can do anything, Mr. Shrikanth Bolla.
Thank you so much. I think indeed, today I think words are falling short. Generally people often look when this guy will get out of the stage. But today I think the words are short. So much inspiration, and I believe I am even inspired. I think today the room is full of energy, dynamism, heroism. I think I am honored to be a part of this legacy. And once upon a time, it was my dream to get into IIT. But today, all you champions made me much closer to IITs even beyond. Thank you to that. Thank you for the march. With all due respects to everyone, ladies and gentlemen, a happy good evening. It's an honor to be here today and tell you a tale of my journey. You know, just as MD sir said, we are just not only celebrating the success of champions, but we are celebrating the destiny of our own champions today. I know champions, you can all see me well, right? I may not see you with the naked eye, but I see your vision today. But when it comes to you, you may see a blue screen behind me. But beyond, if I'd ask you, can you see anything? But I feel your vision. You know, sight is only for the eye and vision is for the mind. And we often get it wrong in our lives that a person without eyesight can actually have 100% vision and can conquer the world. And my life has been built on the principle of what MD sir was telling just ago about I can and I will. When the whole world says Shrikanth can do and Shrikanth you cannot do this, I look up to the world and say Shri can do this. Vision is something that we all cannot see it. So I guess we are all disabled in some way or the other. Because we are all born with this invisible disability called fear, which is riding on all our heads. You know, I famously say, in this world, 98% of the people are blind and only 2% cannot see. When we all are equal, once we are all equal, then success cannot go to one person. Success has to come to us. And that is what you have proven today, that you have laid out that vision to become successful. This rank of yours is an epitome of your vision, is a symbol of your vision. And we do celebrate that vision. You know, dreams are never that you see in sleep. In fact, those big dreams are those who doesn't let you sleep for next 5 years or 4 years. There are thousands and lakhs of Akashans who are trying to get onto that highway. But now you're on that highway leading the way, standing in front. And roads are all never straight. Life is all never straight. You know, I always want to take an example of my own life. People ask me, why did I become an entrepreneur? You know, you see, the life of an entrepreneur is never understood. The journey of entrepreneurship is very spiritual, yet very lonely. No one wants to understand why do we want to work so hard, take huge risks and put ourselves through a roller coaster. Even today, if you go and ask my father what he wants Shrikanth to do, he would happily smile and say, I want him to get a government job and get married to a pretty girl. You know, getting married to a pretty girl, that to a doctor, may not be a big challenge because I am married to a pretty girl of my choice who is doctor by profession. But working for someone else, let alone for Akash, fills me with total dread. And that is why I became an entrepreneur. You see, today, you are demonstrating that leadership. You are not simply going to follow someone's path, just as I didn't do it. You know, following in someone's shoes or taking on someone's path was never in my DNA. Creating my own path was always an option. When the whole world said, Shrikanth cannot do anything, therefore advised my parents to get rid of me, my parents on the other side, like just as your parents or just as parents who are sitting in this room, thought with purity of mind and clarity of thought and say, even if he is not helpful to anyone, even if he is going to snatch our bread, and even if he is not a lineage taker of our old age, we will give him all that we could and at least accept him as a pride. I think that is what puts my parents, just like you, offset than millions of people or parents out there in the world. And I salute you parents, because it is because of people like my own parents or your kids are able to perform really well because you have given your pride to them. And I really appreciate all your sacrifices. You know, when the whole world was against my own parents to get rid of me, my parents prevailed and said, we will give him all we could in spite of our financial difficulties. They brought me up against all odds with pure love and care and compassion. And their sacrifice and their compassion is what is making all of you to clap today for me. And here I am telling my tale to all the champions out there who will someday stand here telling the same tale to all of you or to all the future Akashians. My dear students, learn to be compassionate. It is from my own parents that I have learned compassion is actually what makes you rich as a person. Not all the money in this world. You may earn billions and millions, but that will make you vulnerable. But if you earn compassion and respect, I think that is what makes you rich. We all think compassion means giving someone 10 rupee note to a beggar on the street. That is actually not compassion. That is just doing bad karma and removing our guilt. Compassion is a way for us to think and show someone to live with dignity and purpose. You know, you're all going to be unique, because if you want to follow someone's path and become an engineer, you will not be sitting here in this room with us. You are going to become a leader and show a light to the world, and that is why you are sitting here. You're going to think unique. You're going to embark on a journey that no one have ever thought. Be it defining what AI can do for us, or be it what an AI can do in terms of surgery, how to improve medical science or whatnot. I think you're going to set up new benchmarks, new revolutions and new innovations. You know, talking about innovation, I work in an old-fashioned and boring industry, manufacturing. But if we don't transform manufacturing, we don't get anywhere in terms of job and wealth creation for our people. And that is why I became an entrepreneur. You know, all of us can't be employed in high-tech or engineering, or in fact, we cannot become doctors. Someone has to make the food we eat, and someone has to make the products we eat the food out of. And that's what I partially do, with sustainability and environment as core focus. You know, my childhood was a blessing for me. Today, what I am today, because of all the insults and the stigma that prevailed as a child. I celebrate my childhood because I failed every day. And even today, I keep failing. For me, failure is the stepping stone to success. You know, unless you fail, you cannot become a better person. I know you might be wondering, why are you telling about failure to straight success cutters, right? Life is not all the time same. It's a roller coaster ride. Success doesn't mean getting a neat All India 1 rank. Success means earning that place in the society. This is a byproduct of your hard work. I remember and learned when I was very young that God can only give you starting circumstances to just come to study at institutes like 𝗙𝗏𝗃. But we make our own destiny. The future is in our hands with just enough randomness to make things interesting and less predictable. We're all born with the same surroundings and same starting circumstance. But it all depends on how we utilize our time, energy and hard work. For that, we have to go back and live like an ordinary human being. Everyone now calls me a hero, but I tell people I was a born hero. Because I was born with the spirit of resilience and never giving up attitude, just as the intro also said. It was challenging to go to school in village as a kid, because we as rural Indians don't even have 1 rupee of discretionary income in my pockets. So I walked to school every day for 2 years. Let me assure you, all my senses were keenly developed, simply surviving, walking on the village roads for 2 years without the privilege of eyesight. I strongly believe our personal experiences and hardships often shape our journey in life and in entrepreneurship. Even though my parents were poor and farm background, they gave me utmost love and care. I am very grateful to them for it. And this is what enabled me to not be a dependent on anyone from day one. The other thing that probably shaped me more than anything else is what happened every day when I get to school. No one would want to talk to me, no one would play with me. But I'm pretty sure you had a different experience. So I sat in the last bench, wallowing in my loneliness as a kid. Now that I think Lord Gautam Buddha would have had similar experience when he sat in Lumbini before he got enlightened. But as a 6-year-old, I don't know about that, right? I wanted to be like a regular kid and want to play with everybody. But that was not happening. That was the time I felt I am the poorest child in this world. Not because I don't have lunchbox sweet, because I was made lonely by the perceptions and stigma around the people, by the people around me. And that is when I decided that I am going to take a pledge to fight against this loneliness and create and spread that pandemic of happiness, so that people can live with bliss and happiness around us. It was after 2 lonely years, my father finally decided that I should go to a special school in Hyderabad so that I could be with kids of my own kind. At Hyderabad, that was when my liberation began. At Hyderabad, I was access to top class teachers, library, accessible educational materials and a peer group that I fit in. Wow. Hyderabad is when I realized nothing is impossible. If I'm going to work hard, I might as well aim as high as possible. This is not to say that the transition for an 8-year-old kid away from his parents for the first time is not easy, is not challenging. Of course it was, but the stakes were higher. Think about it. A person studying in a government school or a person working in a quarry is working harder than any of us in this room, but her productivity is not enough to feed 3 meals a day, or let alone build something meaningful or push herself out of poverty. And this is where, my dear students and parents, I tell you, exposure at the right age to right things is the most important thing. But what you do with that exposure purely depends on our hard work and talent. But all your talent and hard work without right exposure won't take you beyond breaking stones by hand all day. This is where right institutions like this will come in handy. Right parents, right faculty and right staff who can give you that exposure. And let me assure you, whatever you learn in IITs or MITs may not be very different from what you learn in our 12th grade at Akash or even other schools. But it all depends on how the concept is taught to you, to make you understand, to learn this concept of how to thrive in this high stakes world or high stakes exams. I think that is where you have been very lucky to be part of this phenomenal institutes like Akash. I think I really salute the management for putting in such rigor of learning and having a pool of more than 6,000 staff across the country. What a beauty of staff, because I am standing today, it is because purely due to the sheer determination and sacrifice of my own teachers back in school, and my own parents and my own teachers and my own friends and my own mentors who had made me what I am today. I owe my debt of gratitude to them. You know, I'll tell you, when I'm studying in grade 5 in special school, I used to do very bad in English, and I wouldn't know how to speak good English because I came from a rural village from Andhra. So my teacher and principal came to me and said, Shrikanth, you are 2 years ahead of your class, but we can do one thing, we can give you a double promotion provided if you do well in English. And that day I told her that, teacher, don't worry, you have faith and believe in me. I will become one of the biggest speakers of this world. And today, after that 15 years, I'm standing in front of you. You know, it is those sacrifices like your own teachers made me what you are today. And even in future, life is like a car where many people of our stakeholders or teachers or mentors at different times will come to your rescue and will help you. But ultimately, we need to steer that steering and move on where we want to head on in life. You know, in 2006, when I met my own role model, Dr. Abdul Kalam, he was asking everybody, what do you all want to become? You know, at a young age of probably 16, 17 or lesser, I was very clear that one day I would drive this country in his chair. And I was able to communicate very clearly to him that, sir, I will become the first visually challenged president and ensure that your legacy is protected as your successor. And ever since that day, he has given me this big responsibility of motivating, empowering and empathizing people to be where we want to be by 2030 or 2040 and thereon. You know, dreaming, I always fancily joke and say, I will order the CRPC and give you a death sentence to people who doesn't dream big. You know, people who doesn't dream big cannot do anything. It is all that matters, my dear friends. Dream big, work hard, and let the universe help you succeed. I think you're already half the way of dreaming big. Now it's your turn to make whole world walk behind you, just as you marched for me. I want everybody to march for you. And we are here to appraise and applaud all your success as you go on. You know, I'm one of the lucky ones. The setbacks I had in life enabled me to gain more exposure. Whenever someone said no to me, I would climb over their head to proceed to the next level. That is the secret in life. You know, the ground level is always filled with no-sayers. You never know which college, which school, which university you're going to go to. But things are not going to be easy. People are not going to be as bright as you are. Our people are going to be even brighter than where you are. So it is you who needs to cross and conquer the people and meet right people who thinks anything is possible. Because as you go higher, you see people who think anything is possible. You know, the definition of success is nothing but seeing yes wherever you look. You know, sometime back when I saw a small cottage sector in India, I saw a lot of problems. Everybody said, I'm an idiot, coming from top universities, you know, I'm getting into business, that too in 𝗙ecie𝗹𝗪. Everybody said, see, you have been blind so far, so ab to ganda hi to tha, anda hi to tha, but people are going to now call you ganda. I said, wohi ganda sona banayega. I think what we have done is not very sexy but innovated in a very fragmented industry to have impact on multiple sectors of India. What we are doing is very simple, creating world-class products that people should be proud of using from waste by using people who are at the margins of the society. And I live with this vision of creating employment opportunities for all and great products at reasonable price for all the people to afford. Because I believe, for me, innovation is making something affordable to people. I take what is existing for top niche and disrupt it to make it available for masses. I don't make Mercedes for people, but I make Marutis for people. I think we are fundamentally altering the dynamics of the industry. More importantly, doing it the clean way, meeting all our obligations in full. What we do is not what is important. How we do is very important. One cannot create. When I started my company in 2013 and until my board gave me a raise ago, my salary was about 10,000 rupees. In many of those months, I did not even draw my full salary because there was no cash in the bank. This is the time I felt like one cannot create something by sitting in the lap of luxury. In fact, our brains are hardwired to produce our best efforts only when we face hardship. I faced so much of hardship in my life that it has become an addiction for me. You might wonder, how would you face hardship? You can simply set up a higher goal than what you can reach. Then you will have that in front of you every day. And if you dream big, work hard, nothing can stop you from achieving where you want to be. As MD sir just said, everyone has unique way of choosing our own paths. We have to look at the world in a very different way. We have to believe in our own spark. Our parents will say, you become a doctor. Our parents will say, you become an engineer. But you have to become what you want to be while respecting our parents. Why are we, and you are having lucky parents, most of you have lucky parents because they understand your aspirations. Now, it is in your purview to believe in your own spark and excel in your own career. I think if we have that vision with which you can visualize, which you can always carry, there's nothing that can stop you. When the whole world said, Shrikanth, you cannot play cricket, I have proven that I can play, in fact, for India. I not only played cricket, but I played baseball, jumped up the plane, did scuba diving, learned swimming, much more. I did archery, shooting, whatnot. For me, all that it takes is a no. All that it takes, clearly listen to me. All that it takes for me is a no from you. Then I will ensure I will turn to an opportunity. All the challenges that I faced inspires me to create opportunities around me. I view challenges as not problems, but challenges are as blessing for me. Because it is only when I face challenge, I emerge victorious by thinking and by becoming better. All the time I make myself better whenever I face a challenge and say, I can do this. You are also going to face a lot of challenges. Life is not going to be straight, but I urge you to turn every challenge into an opportunity, every blessing, every disguise into a blessing, and every hurdle into a stepping stone to success. Then nobody can stop you from reaching where you want to be. And today, indeed, words are falling short, and I am thrilled. And I have done many of these events, but today I cannot be more than happier any time in my life because I am with you, the champions of medicine and engineering and the world. Because it is you, just like as I did, when the education system in India said Shrikanth being blind can only take arts, I have fought out with the system by challenging the law and say I want to become an engineer and study science in intermediate. Unfortunately, I might have gone to a wrong IIT coaching institutions. But I haven't gone to 𝗂𝗃𝗃, I guess, so I will declare that. But I have gone to a wrong institute who said, Shrikanth, IITs are not fit for you. When they said that, I said, when IITs are not fit for me, then when IITs don't want me, even I don't want IITs either. And I aimed to reach the best universities in the world, and I got into MIT with full scholarship. Where I have excelled to become a leader, not an academician, by the way. I have gained right exposure because I was able to be exposed to world stage. And that is why I tell you, every disguise is for a reason. Every problem is for a reason. If IITs would have taken me, I would have ended somewhere here in India. But of course, I am here only in India now. But I have a great responsibility to work to make IIT straight, and which we have already done it so far, and created that path for all of you to excel. And today, even though I couldn't clear IIT exam, just as I was not allowed to sit for the exam, but I felt like I got the top rank because I walked with you. So मेरा जिंदगी में अभी IIT का चैप्टर हो गया है. You know, when I was a child, I always wanted to become a doctor. Then eventually when I realized that I can't become a doctor, मैं सोचा कि चलो मैं किसी अच्छा लड़की को ढूंढ के डॉक्टर को शादी करूं. You know, and destiny, once you manifest that you want to achieve something, destiny will bring closer to it. And my wife, who was studying in 𝗵𝗵 𝗂𝗃𝗃, had reached out to me on Facebook very sketchily, and just like all of you, I thought somebody is just trapping, and we ignored for 1.5 years. And their perseverance continued, and she not only tried to reach me on Facebook, she started sending books of my drawings using pencil art with her roll number on it. So मुझे roll number 100 भी दे दिया है, तो मैं डॉक्टर भी बन गया हूँ. I think it was after 2 years, the destiny brought both of us closer, and here we are, blessed with a daughter of 4 months and happily married. You know, the reason why I am telling you this is, life is all about manifestation and dream and vision. And if you can do that and work hard, I think when you deserve, the whole world is yours. I think I have been very grateful because I feel the whole world has been very, very kind to me, because the whole world made me a hero. And no one has to make a hero, my dear friends. We are all born heroes. Arise, awake, stop not till your goal is reached. There's nothing that is impossible for you. And if I can do it, you can do it, and we all can do it, and make India proud. Thank you so much.